Any minute now. Any minute. It's got like a delay sometimes.
It's all right.
Watch, you'll catch me talking in the middle of it when I start. Come on, Mr. Computer. Dear Lord, what are you doing? Why would you do this to us?
That's what you get for a couple minutes early.
I know, right? Goodness gracious. Yes, you're having trouble connecting. I can tell. Hey, there we go. What's up, Tiger Gang? It's JT from the Pokemuchan family. This is Chatting with Carnivores, and today we have Katerina from Meatfield Living. How you doing, Katerina?
Hi, I'm doing great. So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. You got a really cool story. But before we get in all that, where are you from and where are you at now?
Well, I'm originally from northern Michigan,
Mhm.
but I was in the Army for most of my adult life and traveled all over the place. Ended up in Texas there at the end of my career and just stayed. So I'm in Texas now.
In Texas now. Now, thank you for serving. Because how did you get in the military? How did you get into that?
Well, it wasn't really a glamorous story. I was in college and couldn't afford it anymore. And most of my family is military. And I kind of like bucked that initially because I thought I was, going to go get an education and do something different. But when I was no longer able to afford it, the recruiters were there. And I just joined the Army like the rest of my family. And that's all she wrote after that.
So you've got family members that have been in the Army. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you said in your email, I got a few notes from you that when you were in the Army, you were generally fit and
Yes.
yeah. What
I I actually have always been up until probably the last 13 years or so. Like
Mhm,
I said, I put it in there. I always been very skinny, always very fit. I mean, in the Army, you're paid to be.
mhm,
And of course, I was young too, but I
yeah.
never had any issues with my weight at all.
Uh,
Interestingly, until I switched to being a vegan. But
and how long did you serve in the Army?
Well, I was active, got out, and went back in again. So total about 12 or 13 years,
Wow,
give or take a little, because I got out briefly.
wow. Did they have you working on any UFOs? I gotta ask everybody.
Not UFOs, no.
Okay, I gotta ask.
Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Yeah, or at least not that you can say. You might have signed a little
Right?
agreement on us. So you started eating a vegetarian diet and then you went to vegan. Can you explain how you got to vegetarian and then vegan?
Well, uh, I had my youngest son a little later in life. I'm 50 now and he's 12. And around the time that I had him, I started to have a little bit harder time getting the weight off. So my oldest child was still in high school and was a vegetarian at that time. So
Hmm.
I already was kind of, understanding what was going on there. So I just said, it's a healthy way to eat. It's probably the healthiest way to eat. And I'll just go ahead and we'll just all go vegetarian in the house. And that's what we did for probably a couple years. And then eventually I still wasn't noticing at that time I was having occasional health issues, but you're getting older, so you think that that's just what's happening.
Hmm.
And then I decided when I started having more backaches or whatever, or maybe I still couldn't get rid of that little pooch, that I'll just go straight vegan. And then that turned into whole food plant-based vegan a few years later after that. It was because back then, and I suppose even now, that was considered the healthiest way to eat. I mean, how do you get fat on lettuce? So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's all water. But that was what my doctors recommended back then. They were 100% for it the whole time. And of course, nobody could explain my health conditions that started happening. But it was mostly just because my teenage daughter started it, I guess you would say.
So you were vegan, I got down for over 10 years, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So what made you stop being a vegan?
Um, I
What
wanted to die.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm
Wow.
not looking for attention or anything. I literally wanted to die. After my mom passed away, I really just the depression was one thing, and it was more of a situational depression, but I had been dealing with anxiety and depression strangely for the last several years. I didn't know where it came from. And well, when you look at my pictures, I may not look like I was just, ridiculously obese, but I actually was. I was 50% BMI and everything hurt. My back was so bad and I had injured it in the army. I am a disabled veteran, so I just assumed that it was that. But there were days I couldn't walk. I had all over body pain, some undiagnosed autoimmune diseases. My digestive system was so bad. I was sick all the time. And
Mm.
it got so bad that I just didn't want to be here anymore. And I called my doctor up and I begged her for help. I'm like, please send me do something. I don't care what, because
Mm-hmm.
my little boy came out and saw me crying on the couch. I told you that. And,
Mm-hmm.
and it spurred me. I'm going to try one more time, one more thing. And my doctor basically told me to put the Cheetos down and get off the couch. And I'm not kidding. That was said to me. And when I tried to explain to her, that I wasn't eating vegan junk food and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
she did offer Ozempic, which I
Mm-hmm.
did not take.
No.
And then I tried to get into a nutritionist, but I couldn't get in through her, so I had to go through the VA. But what had spurned it was I was actually scrolling through YouTube, just looking up insulin resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Something. I don't know if I was looking for a magic pill or something, just something to ease my misery. And I ran across Dr. Barry, Ken Barry, and his video about insulin resistance. And
So
that
Dr.
led,
Barry's how you found
yep,
Carnivore?
yep. And then his video led to another, to another, to another.
Wow.
And I figured I didn't have anything else to lose. So
Yeah.
just took my butt over to Sam's Club and bought a bunch of meat. And I didn't know what to buy. It was making my stomach turn just
I
looking
can
at it,
imagine,
picking it
yeah,
up,
being
and
new.
it felt so gross. And I was just like throwing stuff in my cart left and right. I ended up with oxtails and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah,
That's a big learning curve then, right?
you should have been here the first week I tried to eat it. It was
Wow.
bad. It was really, really bad.
Yeah, I suggest to people who aren't really used to eating it, like if you can tolerate like bacon, if that's somewhat good, tastes good to you, like maybe start with bacon, maybe work your way to other things that might, or start with it with whatever. If summer sausage even tastes good, you start with that. I know that might have a couple carbs in it if you look on the back, but start somewhere, it's still better than, eating the other way.
I started with
Becky,
hamburger.
oh, did you? Just real
Yeah.
quick, Becky Mueller here says, hi, Katerina, and hi, JT. Hey.
Yay.
Yeah, you started with hamburger, you said?
Yeah, it was the easiest thing that I could figure out how to do. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I can figure out how to cook, but I just don't. I mean, the pans that were in the cupboard were never used. But hamburger just seemed the least intimidating to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw it in a pan and I saw that they put butter in it. So I lopped off some butter in there and that's just what I did. It was hard to eat at first. The butter felt so greasy because I
Mm-hmm.
ate no oils at all either. But
Yeah.
it just felt, and then I felt like it was coming out of my pores and my hair the first day.
It probably
And I was
was at
just like,
first.
I told my husband, my hair is all greasy, and yeah, it was pretty bad. But I salted that meat enough that I could stomach it at first. It did upset my stomach a lot,
I
though. I
can
got
imagine.
real sick at first.
Yeah. Did you eat any, like, what's your, like, nowadays, what is a normal like week of eating look for you? Like, you still eating a lot of hamburger meat and
Yeah.
yeah.
I do eat eggs and bacon a fair amount. I'm kind of getting baconed out, so I'm thinking I might move maybe to sausage or something. I will. I naturally no longer want to eat very much at all. I almost never
I heard you
eat.
mention that in the video, and I wanted to say too, I had like today I ate a bunch, but the past 2 days before that, I didn't eat nothing. I wasn't hungry, and it's the weirdest thing. Like I had no cravings for nothing. So it's like my wife was like, "You sure you don't want some bacon or some of this?" I'm like, "Honestly, I'm good." Like if I that's what I love about this diet. Not I know you might not be having the same thing, but like for me, I'm not getting any cravings and like yeah, it was kind of weird for me too to go 2 days without being hungry, but I don't know, maybe
I
so maybe you aren't losing the taste for meat, but maybe you just weren't hungry. Do you think that might have been the case?
Yeah, because today I'm starting to kind of veer out of my comfort zone. Again, always very easy cuts of meat. But today I did try some shredded up chicken, and I made like with eggs and made like little nuggets and put it in the pork panko and tried that. And I ate those, and it was fine. I think, like you said, it was just that my body just wasn't hungry, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just a new thing for me because as a vegan, I felt like I was always hungry. And if I wasn't hungry, I was snacking on something.
Pre-carnivore, I always like it was like Pizza Hut and it was garlic bread and just you name it, burgers, got want to go to Wendy's. I had all these cravings just always flashing in my head. But now I feel like all those demons have really calmed down and
The
I eat some
noise, there's
yeah,
not
I
so
eat
much
some
food
bacon and
noise.
eggs and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just it's like you said, it's quiet enough where I can focus on other things."
But so back to what I eat, if I generally break my fast around lunchtime, and that's not even, sometimes I've gone to 3 and 4 in the afternoon and I'll be busy at work or whatever, and I don't even realize I didn't eat. But I'll usually very often have eggs. We have chickens in the backyard, so which
Oh,
was
that's cool.
hilarious having chickens and not eating the eggs,
Yeah.
but my family does. But I'll have bacon and eggs, or it'd be sausage and eggs, and then generally it'll be one, like maybe a ribeye steak. I found I love ribeye steak, so I'll do that. And I tried one of those. If I say this wrong, don't laugh at me. Wagyu, whatever steaks that
Wagyu
they
beef.
had. I don't know
Yeah.
how to say it.
How
And that was
was it?
different.
I've never
That was
had that.
it was it's different, but so I find that I do enjoy steak, but weirdly, my favorite meat is lamb, and I don't know why.
Oh, okay. I
I
still have
just
yet to try lamb. I've never tried it.
Yeah, I ordered it from, I think it's Billy Doyle or something like that, and they shipped it to my house in this big box, and I really enjoy it. Some
When
people
you
don't like the
when you cook
taste,
it,
but
is it like more of a drier meat? Do you have to put more butter with it or
no, you don't ever want to cook the steaks all the way through. They should be
no?
pink inside. I haven't tried the ground lamb yet, so I can't tell you, but it doesn't, to me, it's just, I don't think it's as marbly like as ribeye or as fatty as ribeye, but it's definitely juicy and delicious. And I still put butter with everything anyways. I might be going too much on
Mhm.
fat, but I just do. It's working, so I'm just
Yeah,
like
I don't really know if
lobbing
you
off
can
sticks of butter in there.
yeah, if you're hungry and it's tasting good to you, I don't know if you can really go too hard. Um, so what health issue did you specifically had in mind when you wanted to start carnivore? Like, was there a specific one that you wanted to try to
It was accumulation of them.
all of
It,
them
I
just
I was going through, and I think I gave you a list. I was going
Mhm.
through so many things. Like I told my husband the other day, I was sitting there and I looked and I was looking around and I'm like looking, and he's like, "What are you looking for?" And I'm like I don't know what I was looking for behind me, but I was like, my back doesn't hurt. I don't know. And he was like, "Well, what are you looking behind you for?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but
I'm
my
twisting, man. Yeah.
and I never realized how much pain I had been living with for so long and how
Mhm.
bad it was until I had a moment where I didn't have it. And I thought for sure that somebody was, I mean, I don't know what I thought, but, and he even laughed at it. And he goes, "You know what? You're right. I haven't heard you complain about your back. You haven't been getting your migraine headaches."
Wow.
And I barely could make it through a work day and then I was done. So now I don't know. Like I said, it's amazing what you learn to live with when you just don't have any other options.
Yeah, you just I think you said in one of your videos you just plow right through and just keep going, and
Yep.
yeah.
Just got to
You
push
mentioned
through this.
yeah, you mentioned suffering from GERD.
I still am.
Yeah, like how is that I got on here GERD, depression, anxiety attacks. How is all that coming on carnivores? Any of it improving at all?
So the now understand some of my depression is situational. Like I said, I lost my mom. She was my best friend, and I'm still reeling from that. I'm having a hard time recovering to my normal life. But the other darkness that always just kind of hovered around me, I'm not noticing it.
That's great.
The GERD, I'm still having problems with GERD. I don't know what to do to stop it. Today, I've suffered quite a bit from it, and I don't know if that's something that will eventually ease up. I don't know if it's because I'm eating meat and my stomach's not used to it. I had considered taking like the ox bile or whatever, but I already
Hmm.
take Pepsid because of another condition that I have, and they're counterproductive. So the GERD is the only thing that I really wish would get better. Everything
Well,
else, I can honestly tell you, I don't know when I had a headache last now
that's
since I started.
amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, and that too, that can really make people depressed, getting headaches all the time, and then maybe them turning into migraines.
They do. Mine do. Yes, very
Yeah,
much.
and that's sometimes that's debilitating. You got to go in a room, shut the lights off, and maybe
Most of
lay
the
down
time,
for a
yeah.
bit. Yeah, it's and then what life are you living then? Like you're not laying down to get restful sleep. You're laying down because you don't feel good. So
Well, I haven't had restful sleep in a long time. That was the other thing too. I just couldn't sleep. I horrible sleep.
how's your sleep on Carnivore now?
My alarm is waking me up in the morning for work, and normally I
Wow.
would get up at 3 in the morning. I wish I could say it was to go to the gym or to do something productive, but it was because I couldn't sleep, and I would putz around the house or sit on the couch, and
Hmm.
that was it until I had to be to work at 6. Now my alarm is waking me up at 6, and I'm running to the computer to get on it. So
Yeah,
it's
Becky
better.
says pain is exhausting.
It
It
is.
is. It is, Becky. It just if you had like let's say like one of those other things weren't bothering you that day, and then for me it was like I had back pains too. I have 3 discs in my back out of alignment, and like if it wasn't the sleep apnea giving me bad sleep or the IBS, let's say both those were fine. Well, then my back was like, hey, I'm gonna bother you today, and it was like, really, dude, like
It's
finally
a
I'm not
big
having
thing.
IBS today, and my back's gotta hurt. Like it's just it does it's
Nothing worse than
exhausting.
having to sit on the toilet when your back is killing you.
Yeah, I've been
Because
there. I used
I
to have a
know.
knot in my back so big, and it's I don't have it no more. And I don't know how the carnivore did it, but I'm not gonna question. I'm just gonna keep eating meat. um, you also had done physical therapy for your back. Since we're talking about your back.
Yeah. So around that time, I was having really high inflammation markers in my body, and I'm covered in petechia everywhere on my body, but we can't figure out what it is. So my doctor says you've got some autoimmune diseases that haven't shown their face yet, and I went and got a vaccine, and I won't say the word, but I got a vaccine, and the next day, um, I started having the most excruciating spasms in my back that I couldn't move. I was stuck in my bed, and my husband was having to put diapers and doggy pads under me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't get
Mm.
out of bed. I couldn't walk. Even just moving my hand, it would be like I was bending in half backwards. The muscles were almost like a dystonic reaction. I ended up having to be carted out by ambulance. It was during the worst winter storm that Texas had here, like 2 years ago.
I remember that storm.
It was bad. I spent a week in the hospital, and when I left there, I could not walk on my own. I had to have a gait belt to get me up and down, and I was on a walker for months.
I have two
Along,
that your weight went from 156 to 235 during that time.
yeah,
Was that your
somewhere in
was
a
this like
span.
your highest weight time?
So I believe that I may have been a little bit higher than 235, but I was too afraid to get on the scale at one
Mm.
point. I don't know, but I think I mentioned in there, I started doing like light keto or keto first, like
Hmm.
I think 2 weeks before I started the carnivore, and I was dropping a little weight there. And when I first started weighing myself, I was 235. So I'm thinking maybe a little bit more there. I just don't know. I was
Wow.
too afraid to get on that scale. Besides, I had a 300-pound weight limit, I think, on it. So I wasn't
Yeah,
going
no, sometimes it's like you don't even want to see the number, but it's not gonna be what you want to look at. So you're just like, whatever, let me just get to work.
to.
Like
But 235 is where I started this journey at. And I weighed myself this morning just in case you asked, and I'm 211 right now.
what are your doctors saying about your carnivore diet?
my nutritionist told me to get off of it with the quickness, and my doctor is also not supporting me. She said that I need to come in 3 months because she wants to run my labs, because she's afraid that my cholesterol is going to be worse, my kidneys are going to fail, and I already had some kidney damage from when I had COVID. Oh, sorry, that C word. And
Mm-hmm.
so she's worried about that. She said that it's horrible for my fatty liver, and she's absolutely against it, 100%. And I don't know if you watched my nutritionist video and what she told me. So not supporting me at all.
Mm. That's a disappointment. I think most of them go to school for diagnosing rather than nutrition. And if more of them went to school for nutrition, there'd be less of them that need to go to schooling for diagnosing problems, because we'd be having less issues.
Right.
That's just my
Unless
thought.
the nutritionists are, they're pushing this. I mean, my nutritionist told me that I needed to, and I can't even remember the number, I have it written down somewhere, but I think she said like 70, 40 to something like that of carbs a day. Like it was a ridiculous high number, and I don't remember. I've got horrible memory, but
Wow.
she was like, half of your plate should be like a little bit of meat, a little bit of this, and then a whole lot of carbs. And I thought, but the carbs are what are killing me. And she's like, no, you're just not portion controlling. And I'm like, lady, I am eating literally a 50-50 plate on a vegan diet with 50% of starchy vegetables and 50% of non-starchy vegetables. And this is what's happening. And she basically called me a liar and said that I'm eating vegan junk food or sugar, which, to be fair, am still a sugar addict. I definitely
It's tough.
do have a problem with that.
It's tough. Yeah, for me it was tough kicking the ketchup.
Well,
There's
the
sugar in it, there's sugar, and
that
sugar-free
sugar-free
ketchup.
ketchup is not very good.
You've tried it, right? It's
I
horrible.
have it,
It's
yeah.
horrible. It's not even anywhere near regular ketchup. Like, I just one taste, I was like, throw this out. Throw this out. This is not
Yeah,
even.
I don't like it either. I'll just
Um,
go without.
besides Dr. Berry, where else do you go for like your carnivore information, or
Well, to be honest, I just kind of scroll through YouTube and find people. I ran across another very inspirational story, Carnivorous Me, I think it was the name of her channel. I watched some of her stuff. I just kind of scroll through YouTube, and honestly, and none of them are doctors, or some of them are, and so the information I'm getting may or may not be 1,000% accurate. But I don't have a medical team to support me, so
Mhm.
the internet, YouTube. I did buy a couple keto cookbooks because I got no idea what I'm doing, but
What are
that's
some of
it.
your favorite carnivore YouTube channels?
Some of my, well, right now, I said I'm watching yours now.
Oh, thanks.
Dr. Barry, I like him a lot. Homestead How, I discovered, somebody had mentioned me to him, and he did a shout out on my for me, which was
That's
really,
great.
really sweet. And so I started watching him. Who was another one? The Ketoners, or no, Two Crazy Ketos. I watched them.
I
Uh,
recently just saw the Keto Twins. It's these two girls and they're
I haven't
twins,
seen
and
that one.
yeah, they're kind of funny. I just watch them from time to time. Just
I try to watch and support as many of carnivores as I can. And
me
even the
too.
people that comment on my channel and say, hey, I just watched your video and I put something on my channel, I go and subscribe, or have started to, because
Mhm.
I'm trying to support everybody. I hope they support me because I just want to get the word out. I,
Right.
it's no competition here. I literally just want everybody to know that.
No, and my coach taught me there really is no competition, because there's only one you and there's only
Mhm.
one me. Like there's only one of all of us. So who's there to compete? There's not another Katerina, exactly like
No,
you. So,
and I'll
and
tell you,
make
my
sure you
husband
guys
probably
subscribe to
says
her
thank you.
channel. I
Do
want to
what?
pull up
Sorry.
your channel quick, okay?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You guys, make sure you guys go check her channel out here. Meat Field Living. It looks like I'm not subscribed, but I am. I'm just not signed in at all. I tell people this.
I'm just beginning, so I'm not a great video videographer or editing is really just a beast for me. But again, I'm not doing it for fame. I'm doing it because I want to get this word out.
Right.
Somebody out there is going through what I went through, and they need to know uh, that. So there's not a lot on there. I'm just starting out, but
Hey, no, it's a great start, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. She's at 282. She's on her way to 1,000, guys. So that would be awesome. Boom. Yeah, and I've got it right here on the screen, guys. Meat Field Living. Make sure you hit that up here. Let me put this back here so you can see that better. There we go.
yeah, you don't want to see all that nonsense in the background.
Right, right. uh, what does a or let's see here. How much have you lost on Carnivore specifically? Like weight?
Well, I started 100% carnivore at 220, and I'm at 211 right now. So
Okay.
I have to do the math on that. But
Rich says I'm subscribed.
yeah,
Nice.
that's my husband.
Oh, okay. Good job, Rich.
He
You're,
better be
you're getting
subscribed.
bonus points tonight, buddy. Becky says I already have. Nice, Becky. Becky, bless your heart. Same here. Yep. I didn't mean to cut you out. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
So, you've definitely lost some weight, and um, you're doing a great job. Honestly, like, don't beat yourself up. And if you're not hungry, like Dr. Barry says, if you're not hungry, don't eat. If you're hungry, eat. If the meat tastes really good, then you're hungry. If it's starting to feel like a chore and it's losing a lot of that flavor, you're getting full. Just listen to those body cues. I feel like on the carnivore diet, I'm more in tune with what my body's telling me than ever.
So I struggled with that in the beginning because being a vegan, it gagged me to think about eating meat in the first place. So I didn't know if I was having those feelings because of that or if it was because I was full. And I kept thinking to myself, there is no way at all that this is enough food. And I was very meticulously tracking everything I ate in MyFitnessPal.
Mm-hmm.
Just because in the beginning, I also was wearing one of those continuous glucose monitors because I was trying to figure out what I was eating that was causing, my problems. And I would track all that stuff. And then MyFitnessPal would say, whoa, you haven't eaten enough calories or anything. So we don't recommend that, why? And then they wouldn't even, because, when you hit it, would say, oh, if you keep eating like this, you'll be 200 and whatever in 5 weeks. But it just started yelling at me, so I don't even do it anymore because I never come close to the 1,500 calories, and it's not because I'm starving myself. I would love to eat, but I'm just not hungry.
Yeah, no, and I wasn't hungry either, and it is what it is. But then I said that third day, oh my goodness, I ate like damn near a whole pack of bacon myself. Like
I do that. I eat like 10 pieces in a sitting sometimes. My
yeah,
husband will come out and smell the bacon, and he's
and
like, oh,
that's
you made bacon. I'm like,
yeah, that's
I
all
did.
right. Like just whatever your body's saying, listen to it. Lucia, how you doing? Lucia Young. Hi. Found two of my favorite people just came on.
Oh,
Nice, nice. Yeah, make sure let me pull up your there you go. Meat Field Living, pulled it back up here. Make sure you guys go subscribe. She's she's a beacon of light herself, man. She's putting herself out there when she really doesn't have to, and she's doing it to help inspire people. And somebody out there is watching this, and they're gonna connect with you and relate to you, and that's why she's doing it. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for her, and I'd appreciate it. She'd appreciate it. So what have been some of your favorite health benefits if we didn't go over it already? That you're noticing.
well, no migraines. My husband could tell you that I had a headache every day.
Mm.
It always.
Did you take a lot of pills like
Yeah,
Tylenol and stuff, and
yeah,
which isn't good for the
which
stomach,
is tearing up my stomach. Yeah, exactly. And those didn't work. And then you try that cocktail of Motrin, Benadryl, some coffee or whatever because I already take enough pills as it is, so I don't want to take prescription migraine medicine. Plus, I have an epileptic son here, so I
Mm,
need to be awake to be able to take care of him. So
absolutely.
but so no headaches by far and wide, one of my favorite things. And my back pain. Again, my husband could tell you, I couldn't even walk around my house. Forget going to Walmart, forget doing anything fun because my back would hurt so bad. I couldn't help him with chores around the house. It wasn't that I was being lazy. I couldn't. And that back pain is gone. I even said earlier, I just told him the other day, I'm like, I get twinges and it still sort of hurts, but normal hurt, you know?
But you're getting more stuff around the house down now
Yeah.
because your back
Yeah.
feels better. That's amazing.
Um, I wish I could say the GERD would go away. I will literally throw a party the day that I don't have that.
The
Um, what else?
anxiety.
I haven't been anxious. I went to the school open house for the boys, and normally I just get around a few people and I would get very agitated, very angry, very just I just couldn't handle it. And I made it through both those open houses and I was in a good mood and talked to people and I hadn't been able to do that for a while.
That's
I
great.
mean, I'm on here. I wouldn't do that.
No,
So,
and honestly, before Carnivore, I had no energy to interview person after person and here. Like, I would have loved to hear your story, but it's like I don't feel well, so like I'll have to like you hold your story another night. But like,
can you break it up in four parts?
yeah, yeah, what's the? Can you sum it up here? No. Honestly, I feel great now, and I'm just trying to I. I've said it before, like the story of the 10 lepers, man. Only one came back. They all jumped off, and I'm trying to be the guy who, although I'm feeling good, I can jump off and go surfing and all that. I'm trying to sit here on behind the screen and not like I'm not having fun. I am. I'm trying to share people's stories and give back because I feel like I've gotten a second chance at life. So
That's
I,
what I said the other day
you
too. I
know,
think I got my life back. I mean, sad that I had to wait till I was 50 years old to do it, but all the things I missed in the last 13 years that I couldn't do and all the times that I could have been there for my kids and I wasn't. It's sad.
but now you have the future though,
I
all
do.
ahead of you,
Mhm.
and I bet you're gonna have so many good times ahead of you. You guys won't even remember those few times. You
I
won't even
hope not.
remember them
Yeah.
unless you're
Yeah.
writing in a journal or something, which I do once in a while. I was just reading part of my journal, and it was just cute, what I wrote about my son, and because he's 1.5, and they do so many different things so fast. So it's like if you
Yeah.
don't journal it, you forget it almost.
Yeah, my youngest is almost 13, so
It goes fast. I He's almost 2. It's wild. Lucia, I know Katerina, another veteran. I listened to her. Glad she is here.
thank you.
Yeah, guys, she served in the army, and we owe her our thanks, man, because she's a selfless person. You can tell, like, she's even putting herself out here, showing you guys what her measurements are. She's
Yeah, that's
calculating.
tough.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
tough.
it's tough, and it's a lot of work too. You're writing these things down for, like, you're putting an effort to help people. That's why I really need people, boom, to hit that subscribe, meat fueled living. Make sure you guys do that. So I want to know. Let's talk about your YouTube channel for a bit, okay?
Mhm.
What inspired the name Meat Fueled Living? I'm pretty sure, but can you know, go into it?
Because it started giving me energy and I was like, wow, my fuel is meat. It's no longer sugar and all these other things that were getting me through my day, although coffee still still
My
gets me
wife's trying to get
through
off coffee too. It's
it.
do what you got
But
to do.
I just figured I'm living. I'm gonna start living again. I'm gonna be able to be there for my family. I'm gonna be able to do stuff with my husband, and it's all gonna be fueled from meat. So that's not the most, super creative, but
No,
certainly to the
it's
point.
simple and effective. That we don't always need creative when things are simple. It's very creative still. It's very effective. I liked it and it sticks out. Meat Field Living. There you guys, man. I'm telling you, I just love meeting all these characters, man. Everybody has their own story and they have their own angle that they're coming at the carnivore for, and I really like. That's why we're doing this. It's so awesome. What would you do? You get in social situations around people and they're judgy or they make a comment? What do you do in those situations, like at a family party or something, when you talk, like you say, I'm on carnivore? And
Well, I haven't gone to a whole lot of functions. I do have a couple people at work that I've talked to about it. One of them very receptive, the other not. And I just say, you know what? Here's your proof. You've known me for how long and you know what I've been going through. And now look at me. And I owe it to eating a ribeye steak this morning. So the proof is here, and that's what I say. I mean, you can take that knowledge and you can use it if you want. You can choose to not use it. If you hate on me because of it, that's fine. I'm not going to let it bother me. At first, I thought that it might, but I'm riding this high. I'm going because this has just changed my life. So I'm going to give you the knowledge and you do what you want to do with it. I hope that you give it a chance. Give it a chance for 30 days. Give it a chance for 2 weeks, because if you're like me, you're going to see something very quick happening, and then make that educated decision yourself. I'm not going to cram anything down anybody's throat, but I'm telling you right now, put my picture in a frame, because this is living proof right here.
Yeah, and all you can do is just give your story and just say, "Hey, man, you have my story, you have my word," like, and for whatever it's worth to you, Could you give
I'm
us?
telling you, there is nobody more surprised than me.
Yeah,
Maybe my husband, but nobody is more just gobsmacked than I am,
is your
because
husband on carnivore?
he's no, he eats what I
Chris?
eat, but
Is
he
it
eats.
Chris or Rich?
It's
Rich, I'm
Rich.
sorry, Rich. Rich, come on, Rich.
I told him once I reach my goal weight, he's the next one on the channel. I'll be.
Get
That's
in here,
been his
Rich.
story. Or even now, my husband is in love with pizza too much, and he is also Puerto Rican, so
That's
the
my
rice and
favorite
all
food.
that.
I feel like I could have been the fifth Ninja Turtle. I love pizza. And trust me, and we have a mom and pop place that makes double dipped garlic bread with this
Mm.
amazing pizza with all this cheese, and it's just like, please stop. But I actually lost the cravings. Honestly, like I'm just, once you get past like the first 5 days, at least for me it was 5 days. I craved everything, donuts, pizza. But once you get past the first 5 days, like you said, that noise goes down, and you're like, wow, I really don't need it as bad.
So he doesn't have a gallbladder, so he struggles a little bit, like when I give him food that is a little too fatty. But I keep telling him that, just push through that, it's going to get better. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a little less fat for you, so you're not like living in the bathroom. But he he's still got his addictions. But
Becky says pizza was my passion too. Yeah, I mean
how
it's
could it not
pizza.
be?
I
Who out
mean,
there isn't it?
right. Even the Ninja Turtles, like they live in a sewer, but they knew on top what was good was the pizza. You know what I'm saying?
We were just saying that today too. I was like, "Oh, you know what sounds good?" And Rich goes, "Pizza," and I was like, "Not pizza. I'd have to make it a carnivore type pizza." And he was
Yes,
like,
we can. Me and my wife made a carnivore pizza. You take 6 cups of cheese and 3 eggs, mix them, and then flatten that out onto parchment paper, nice flat circle. Bake that for about 20 minutes. Take it out, flip it over, and then put you could put white sauce down, but we just put mozzarella, pepperoni, sausage, and
"Well,
it
my
was a
favorite
beautiful
part is
cheese
the
crust.
cheese and pepperoni." So
Yeah, and the crust, it looks, and it was really good. So try that, Rich. Try a carnivore pizza and see if you can get in that, because I even said to my wife, I found the recipe. I was like, we're getting that pizza pan back out. Get it back out. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, we're making a carnivore pizza. We can do this. Because trust me, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because I was waiting to tell somebody. So shout out to Rich, man. I'm down with the carnivore pizza.
he's
Dinner
the
tonight. There you go.
yeah. Unfortunately, though, Rich is the kind of person that he thinks about losing weight or being healthy, and then it happens. He makes me so mad. It's ridiculous.
I
Yep.
did hear that guys lose weight a little bit easier than women. So, I've been saying to my wife too, don't beat me up too bad. Like I didn't design none of that. But Rich, you heard it, man. You maybe have a cheat code because you're a guy, man. You should, get on that carnivore pizza tonight. And then guess what? it's crazy eating carnivore pizza tonight. You could say I'm on day one, not or day one down in the drain. Like it's amazing, man.
Yeah, because it is tough when you're in a house full of a bunch of people that aren't eating that way and they're rolling around with cookies or whatever, and you smell it. And I don't know if you saw my video about where I nearly had a breakdown in Sam's Club because I could smell the chocolate, and then my
Mm.
husband was like, what is wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like a flaming idiot, but the chocolate smells so good and my mouth is watering, and it just is so hard for me. But I am getting better now because I see them eating that stuff, and no longer do I sit there like, which
Hmm.
I was in the beginning.
For me,
It's
it
getting
was the
better.
popcorn. We were just at the zoo, and they had this popcorn wagon, and oh my gosh, like I had to start speed walking when I smelled it. I was like, let's go. I cannot 30, 40, 60 feet away. I need to be like, I cannot smell that air drifting over here. Like, because it just brings you back to that time where you would just mindlessly eat it all the time. And for
Well, your
me,
nose is such a powerful sense, anyways, and triggering memories
mhm,
in your
but
brain.
my
So,
senses are what got me into trouble because stuff smelled good, it tasted good, but then it didn't feel good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Tiffany S. Oh, that's neat. I was just wondering how carnivore pizza would go. Yep, 6 cups of cheese, 3 eggs, mix them together, flatten that whole mess out and onto parchment paper, bake it for 20 minutes, and then add your stuff. I guess if you have to have sauce, that's not really carnivore, but if you're just starting, like do what you got to do, I guess,
So
but
I don't, I don't know because I can't see the picture, but I'm suspecting that that might be my oldest daughter, and she's the reason why I became a vegetarian in the first
really.
place. It's your fault.
Well, it sounds like everybody wants pizza in your house tonight. That carnivore
It
pizza.
sounds like
Yeah,
it.
Rich. Rich says carnivore pizza for dinner tonight. Let's go, Rich. Let's go. Proud of you, Rich. He says, I told it's like an alcoholic in a liquor store. It's tough for sure. Yeah, that's why I stress to everybody that comes on here the power of a decision. Are you guys married?
Me and Rich, yes.
Yeah. So you know that as soon as you got married, how many kids you have?
Between the both of us,
Mm-hmm.
7. Well, no, there's 7 of us total. Sorry. Right? No, actually, with 7 kids. I'm
When
sorry, it is 7 kids.
when you get married, then look at all the stuff that happens: kids, house, cars, jobs. I mean, all these things, and then your kids will have kids, and one day you'll be a grandparent.
I am.
Yeah, and guess what? That's all from that one decision. I mean, it's all from a decision you made, and like their kids will have kids, and then their kids will have kids, and that all still came from a decision that you made. Which is why, like, I try to stress to people the power of a decision. Like, you're made in God's image, you can create. So when you make a decision, there is so much power in that because, man, things can go on for a long time just for one decision you make, including our suffering. If we make a decision to eat junk and then we're just prolonging how we're feeling and we're delaying our results. Keep mama happy, Rich. Becky, that's
Yes.
what Becky says. Yep. Becky, shout out to Becky. She's telling it like it is. That's funny. Tiffany, yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me. Yeah, okay. Shout out to you.
That's the oldest daughter that I said that was a vegetarian at the time and just kind of convinced me to go that route.
Well, hopefully she'll try carnivore with you. It's a family affair. Yeah, and it should be too. Everybody's eating carnivore pizza tonight. Hello. Most of them are adults.
Oh, yeah, he's talking about the kids. We only have 2 little ones at home now, 2 boys.
Okay. But still, that power of the decision is really there. You know, would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like when you just decide to, and for me, I had to hit rock bottom. I had to hit rock bottom. I had to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, where I was like, dude, you know what? I don't give a crap how much I love pizza. It doesn't love me. You know what I'm saying? You got to like wake up. It's like being in a bad relationship where you're putting in more effort than the other person. That's
Hmm.
that's not how it should go. It's a two-way street. If you're sending love, there should be love coming back. And if you're getting into something and it's just beating you up and tearing you up, like you got to come to that realization, like, man, this does not love me at all. Let's bring up your I want to bring your channel up one more time here. Boom. Share. Guys, make sure you go subscribe, Katerina. And she's got such a cool name, Katerina. I mean, just say that. Doesn't it sound fancy? It sounds like a fancy like thing of wine or something. It's really cool. Meat Field Living. She's at 282 for subscribers, guys. Let's go. Let's get her up there to 1,000. We can do that. She's doing shorts. She's doing long form videos, and look at her today. She's doing live streams, right? That's so awesome.
Which in itself is pretty amazing because always been super embarrassed, and just it's because when I first met my husband, I was really outgoing and happy, but I wasn't like this. And then as I started to become sicker and sicker, and then more down on myself, and like I laugh because Rich is all in shape and he's measuring me in those videos, and I know somebody's saying, "What's that guy doing with that fat chick?" I know somebody's saying that because they do.
Let them
But
say whatever they want to say,
yeah,
honestly.
that's what I'm saying. I'm putting it out there, and so far, most people have been very nice. I've had the occasional kind of snarky person, but I just ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just hard to it's hard to believe that I'm doing this and just yelling my story to on top of the mountains. But
So you feel like it's everybody's been saying, at least like I've been hearing, like I feel like it too. Like people have been getting like a boost in confidence on Carnivore. Like you said, you don't think you would have been here. Like, do you think it's boosting your confidence? Should make you want to share your
absolutely. I
story?
mean, I've always been an outgoing person up until I started having the anxiety and depression, which who knew what was causing that? And then I became so introverted that I didn't talk to anybody. So
No.
I just feel so good. And I feel almost like God's telling me to put this out to people, like almost compelled that I need to share this story with somebody out there that is listening, that was on their couch crying,
Mm-hmm.
on their last wits end, wishing that they didn't wake up the next day, and
Mm-hmm.
and somebody's going to hear this by chance, and they're going to get up and go to Sam's Club and throw all kinds of weird meat in their cart, and they're
Yes.
going to start, and then the next day they're going to start to feel better. It happens that fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if you got bacon and eggs in your fridge, like just start there. Like look and see what you got in your house that's meat, and just
And if you're a
start eating
vegan
it.
getting ready to start this, I mean, I can't speak from everybody's different, but ground beef worked very well for me. It had just the right amount of fat. Just you could flavor it up with whatever you needed to, because again, like I said, I had a real hard time eating it because I had been a vegan.
How do
But
you cook yours? Do you make them into patties or?
we have burgers sometimes, but this is sound so silly. I just throw it in a pan, crumble it up, put some seasoning in there and some butter, and I cook it until it gets like really crispy,
Mm.
almost like that's my favorite. And I just eat it like that. A big mound of hamburger, as silly as it sounds, and that's what I lived on. I think maybe for the first week, I'd have to ask Rich, but I'm pretty sure it was hamburger the first week, just hamburger.
Becky says you got beautiful red hair.
Oh, thank you. It's mostly gray.
Hey, it looks real red here, girl. Hey, I got one for you and Rich. You can try. Me and my wife made carnivore taco bowls. That's use some skirt steak, and then
Mhm.
put that in the bowl first. Then put the ground beef over it on top, and then put a little bit of Mexican cheese on the ground beef, and you got a little taco bowl. It's
Like the
amazing.
white Mexican cheese or the mixed Mexican cheese?
I get like a 4 cheese Mexican.
Mm.
It's got like 4 little cheese. Oh, cheese. Mm-mm-mm.
So I'm kind of struggling there because when I was little, I was lactose. I mean, I couldn't have milk at all. And then as the years went by, I kind of grew out of that. But I still think I'm a little lactose intolerant, because sometimes I'll be in the bathroom after eating cheese or something like that, and I love it. I love cheese.
I'm from Wisconsin. We're land of the cheeseheads. It's
The
so tough
cheese
to turn on.
state.
It's in every gas station here. Like swear to, it's like cigarettes, man. They've
You
got
go
it in
to
their mouth. They're
Culver's and it's
popping it.
Wisconsin cheese
So,
curds.
oh, you know about Culver's, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I love Culver's. I had people tell me that their burger meat are processed. I'm like all those patties come from Wisconsin cows. There's nothing processed about them. That's literally steak beef you're eating. Like, like,
I don't
but
know.
yeah,
But
Culver's. If you're that's one tip. If you're ever out and about and you're hungry on the road, um pick up the Culver's Butterburger patties and then get a little extra bacon on there. Ooh.
So I don't think we have a Culver's nearby, but I did go to Wendy's and just get the patties at Wendy's with some bacon. I have also done it one time at McDonald's, but they screw it up more than they don't. One time
Mm-hmm.
I went and they piled all this ketchup, and that was that same day I had that breakdown over the sugar, and
Mm.
so McDonald's is kind of, but Wendy's did pretty all right. I
Yeah,
just try not to because it's everything else that I smell in there, like the fries and things like that, that become very hard for me. And
plus the price you're paying for 3 patties there, you literally could have had like 2 pounds of ground beef at the store. Just being honest,
mhm.
Becky, that's what Bill Knott's video did for me. I started the day after his video. Yeah, you never know who's gonna inspire you, so that's why she's on here, because somebody's gonna.
He's the one from Alaska, right?
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, I watched his too. What it just
He hasn't left his house in
I
4 years.
know it made me cry. Like I get tears in my eyes when I see people.
People take it for granted, man, that they could get up right now and walk out of their door and smell fresh air and look at a bird fly by them. Like, seriously, man, people need to like love themselves, because this is life, man. Like, don't take anything for granted. Even going outside and looking outside and smelling that fresh air. Like, I almost died from sleep apnea. So, like, I would have took any air from the attic. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God,
I don't care.
I'm in
Like, I just,
Texas. You
what
won't say that.
when you can't breathe, you take it. So now I feel like a connoisseur. Like, I'm just like,
You smell
ooh,
that?
yes. Rich,
With a fine Chianti.
OMG, must try the taco bowl.
Oh, Rich
Try
always wants
it.
to eat.
I'm telling you, you're gonna like Carnivore a lot more than you think, Rich. Like, it is the bomb, man. Especially when you get into it, you're like, okay, maybe I won't lose my pizza fully. And same thing with tacos. You can make mix the egg and the cheese, and then make smaller circles, and then bake those a little bit, and then pull them out a little bit soon, and then put them over like a spoon or something, and then they drape into taco, hard shells shaped, and just let them dry, and try that too, and then put your meat and cheese in there. Try
We've
that.
done that with those egg life wraps. Have you seen those?
Mm-mm. What are
They
those? Because I was going to ask you too. That was my next question. What have you tried any cool carnivore recipes? I've never heard that one.
so they're called egg life wraps, and you can get them. I know Target sells them. I've seen them like at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, but we have to drive like an hour to get to those. But I
Mm.
can get them at Target here, and they're just eggs. I think I don't remember if they're egg whites or just eggs, but that's all they are, and they're made like little crepes.
Mm.
And they don't taste overtly eggy, like they, especially when you put them like with some bacon grease and kind of fry them like a tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
And the only difference is they're a little more chewy than what a tortilla would be. But we were making little burritos and
Oh,
tacos out of those
that's cool.
because my husband loves soft tacos. I like crunch, so me I would rather have, like, I use carnivore crisps for like taco meat. It's just they're very expensive and you don't get a lot of them in there. So
Try the egg and the cheese if you like the crispy ones, and then bake it for a little bit, then drape it over like a
yeah,
big
I'm gonna
cooking
try that.
wood, like a big wood spoon that you mix, and then
Mhm.
they'll just flop over, and then once they're hardened, you got like a little. It's so awesome. I love it.
I'm gonna
Uh,
have to try that. I didn't know egg and cheese. I just thought it was cheese. So.
no, egg and cheese, and eggs are good to go. So, Colts and Bears are tied. My dad loves the Bears. It's weird. He's from Wisconsin. Should like the Packers. He likes the Bears. Ah. Anyone here from Texas? Brookshire got tapped sirloin on stale for $3.99.
Top
Ooh,
sirloin.
Tanya, thank you for the top sirloin. Thank you for the top sirloin sale tip. So if anybody's in Texas, go get that sirloin. It's $3.99. You cannot beat that. Nice, Tanya. Stock up. Yes, Becky. Becky,
Absolutely.
you do not play around, Becky.
And HE. Oh, she said Brookshire. I was gonna say HEB, but no, Brookshire. I don't know if we have one of those here in Waco.
No. Yeah, I make sure, let me bring up your thing here one more time. Chatting. Sorry, I'm still getting used to all these buttons and stuff on here. Yeah, make sure you guys go subscribe to our channel. Meatfield Living, Katerina, she is doing a great job. She's getting her results. She's turning things around. as Carrie says from Homestead House, she's becoming the captain of her own ship, and I think everybody should do that. Like, and then follow her so you guys can be inspired. And she gives a lot of good tips. And I like subscribing as many people as I can because I just, like we're all alive, man. We're all in this journey together. And I think that's so awesome. It's like heaven on earth, man. Like we all get to just talk to each other, message each other, support each other, like each other's videos, comment on them. Like,
Yeah,
how,
I
how
noticed that the
cool.
carnivore community is very welcoming, and they try to boost everybody up, and there doesn't seem to be this competition of or people trying to like not backstab, but I don't know the word I'm looking for, like just try to derail you or anything. It seems like a very loving and accepting community, which is
Hmm.
so hard to see out there, especially because everybody's trying to get, what's that word, monetized or whatever. I mean, and I get it, and I don't fault anybody that, but I just noticed that doing this is just very welcoming, like this is a tribe
Hmm.
of people that just
Hmm.
seem to love each other, and I guess it's all that meat goodness, everybody's loving everybody, so
It is. It is. Yeah, I originally started in the family niche, my YouTube channel. So my views have gone down doing carnivore, but to me, it wasn't about the money and the views. Like I would rather, and I'm telling you, life is just more precious than anything. Like you have to share with people and connect, and like I didn't get a second chance at life here to just, worry about money all the time. When there's a time and place for that, and money, for what it does, nothing can really replace it, but it's still not everything. And what is everything is our health, how we feel, our spiritual, our mental, and our physical health. All three of those things combined, I think that's, I was saying, that's why carnivores glow. It's not just like the nutrients, like your body's feeling good, your spiritual is health is feeling good, your mental health is feeling good, you're not in that fog, and you're just gonna glow like a damn angel. I honestly, I believe it. Anybody can. Yes, we got
speaking
this,
of
Katerina. Yes.
speaking of money though, is anybody else really honestly saw how much cheaper it is to eat this way? I think I was like, literally, we used to joke around that Whole Foods, we called it whole paycheck for, I mean, I spent so much money that, I mean, it was so bad that I made my husband tear up my backyard and put all these raised garden beds in, which who knows what I'm going to do with now, to grow our own food, because we were spending so much money on fruits and vegetables that you put in the refrigerator and you push them to the side a little bit and they go bad like that. You just
Hmm.
turn away and your stuff's rotten. And
Think about the
um,
people purchasing all that stuff. It comes in plastic. It was shipped here from Mexico, some of it,
been
and
sitting in a warehouse for who knows
then
how
you
long.
then you eat a quarter of it, and three-quarters of it goes back in there, and it gets wasted, and then it's got the plastic. I mean, I'm not getting on that way of life, but like they get on us for killing one cow that we're actually eating, instead of these pesticides that are like literally killing millions of birds every year. And out of the 67 million birds a year that die, 200 million get sick. So there's even more that almost died.
Yeah,
And
look
none of
how
those birds are
many
getting
cases
eaten.
of salmonella you're getting from lettuce, anyways. So
It's the stuff we're putting on our food is just terrible. That's why I'd rather just buy the meat
the
and
pesticides, yeah.
take care of it myself. And I know, like, okay, nothing funny was put on here. Like,
Yeah, we bought from a local beef, another veteran. He has a like a almost like a co-op maybe, but he we could buy like an eighth or a quarter or whatever of a cow, grass fed.
mm,
And he was so awesome because he was like, these cows are out in the field and they're walking around, so they're going to be tougher because it's all muscle instead of fat. But he came in and showed us how to cook it and all that. It was really nice, just really great service. And it was
that's
just a
awesome.
local farmer.
Yeah.
And I did that, and our freezer is stocked. And I still go get the oddball thing, like the weird wagyu or however you say it steak that I had
Wagyu.
to try because I had to be highfalutin. But
Mm.
yeah, our freezer is full, and I spent less on that than I would do in a week sometimes
Getting
on the vegan
Oreos
diet.
and all that stuff. Yeah. And
Hmm.
even chips, man, they want like $8, $9 a bag, and it's stuffed with air. I mean,
Yeah.
you open the bag and 3/4 of the bag is gone
Yeah, I
already.
confess I was a chip eater. I'm a crunch
Oh,
person,
trust me, I am all
very
about the
addicted to
crunch.
that.
Even crunch bars. We'll take it even anything with crunch
Yep.
name in the name.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
seriously, if it's that's what I tell my husband all the time. I would eat an entire bag of tortilla chips, those tortilla, just regular tortilla chips. It didn't have to have salsa on it or not, just that salt and crunch. And
hmm
if I were to say I miss anything at all on my old way of eating, it's those tortilla chips.
You do the pork rinds?
I do, yeah. Me and
Yeah.
my husband tear up a thing of those pretty
You
regularly.
can almost like make nachos with those too, just an idea. So
Yeah,
it's
that's actually a great idea.
Chris, there's a lot of options. Rich, I mean, I'm sorry, I keep calling him Chris. I'm so sorry, Rich.
He'll
Um,
answer to it. We call him all kinds of stuff.
yeah, just don't call me late for dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, you guys, let me pull it up one more time here. Right here, make sure you subscribe to Katerina's channel, Meat Field Living. Katerina, I had a blast. And my coach always says there's first law of learning is repetition. So make sure you guys rewatch this. There's value in her story. There's value in her as a person, and she's here for a reason, and that's to be a beacon of light to everybody here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Katerina, did you have fun?
I did, yes.
There you guys go. You guys made her feel welcomed, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep up with her. Post in her comment section and all that. But I gotta get rolling. We got another interview coming up. But
Spread that
Katerina,
word.
it's been a blast, and we're gonna have you on for an update video.
Oh, awesome. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, guys. Peace out. We'll see you on the next one. I'm gonna hit this broadcast end here, and I'll do